Welcome everyone. Here is how to remove bloatware in Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. The first thing is Samsung Internet and a bunch of other Samsung or other apps, they are forced onto you. So for example, if I'm in an email, I hit a link, it brings me to Samsung Internet. If I'm in YouTube, I hit a link, it's going to bring me into Samsung Internet. So what that is that this is a default application and we can just change the default app for our internet, for our messages, for our mail, all that stuff. And in order to do that, let's first of all start by opening up our settings. Then I want you to scroll all the way down and you're going to look for the apps option. Then at the very top, you will see choose default apps. And in here, we can just change the defaults that our phone uses. So browser app, I'm going to go into here and I personally prefer Google Chrome. So I'll choose Google Chrome. You may need to actually download a alternative browser from Google Play if you don't see any options here. But you can also change your default messages app, phone app if you really want, and all this stuff. The second thing is actually uninstalling the bloatware that is on the phone itself. So if I go into, let's say, Google here, you can see I have all these Google products. Maybe I just don't want them. And if I swipe up, I have all these Samsung products. Maybe I just don't want them. Well, you can uninstall apps pretty simply by just long pressing on an app and releasing. And then sometimes you will have the uninstall option, sometimes you won't. So in this case, there is no uninstall option, which means you kind of have to keep the app, that there's no choice. But let's say if I long press on Facebook, you can see there is the uninstall option. If this exists, you can just tap on that, uninstall, repeat as much as you like. If you really don't want an app running on the phone, sometimes there will be a disable option. So I'm going to look for an app and you can see Google Meet. I don't want this app. And if I long press it, there is the disable option. So if I tap on that instead, and then I disable Google Meet, what this does is while the files of the app aren't uninstalled, all of its functions won't work. So if you're worried about data collection or anything like that, it just will not run the app at all, but the actual files for the app do remain on the phone, so it won't save storage. And so you can see if you go to settings, apps, look for Google Meet, you can then re-enable it. So if I just tap on disable, it's going to hide that application right there. And the next thing is if I long press on my power button, you can see I have wonderful Google Gemini. Now, you may not want Google Gemini, you may want Bixby, you may want regular Google Assistant, or you just want to get rid of the Assistant entirely. And in order to do that, you're going to long press both power and volume down together. So you press and hold these two down, and then release when you see the power screen. You can then head into the side button settings like this. And in here, you can change the defaults. So under long press, it's going to be set to Google Assistant by default, but you can tap on Bixby to have the power button set to Bixby, or you can have it set to power off menu. So when you long press the power button, it will actually go into the power menu like this. If you want to replace Google Gemini with the regular assistant, make sure Google is still selected as digital assistant. And then you can just look for and open up the Gemini app. Inside of this one, you tap your name at the top right. And then you should see, if I scroll down, there is the switch to Google Assistant option. And when you tap on this one, you can now see choose your digital assistant. You can tap on Google Assistant, switch this, and then just go like that. And now it's going to bring up the old Google Assistant from the older phones you might be used to. If you want to swap it back, you can just open a Gemini app again to swap it just like this. So that is the extent you can remove the bloatware from the Galaxy S25 Ultra. This is not like a rooted phone where you can just do whatever you want, but you do have a bunch of options which are shown in this video. Now, real quick, YouTube don't promote my videos like they used to. So if you found this video useful, it really would mean the world to me if you hit the like button down below and just left a comment saying, hey, I found this video useful, or leave a comment asking what else you want to change in the phone and I will respond. Have a nice rest of your day. Bye bye.